What do you expect to see, what do you hope to see coming out of this conference? What core issues would you like to see addressed? What do you see as the main?
Well, I think, funny enough, there were a couple of speeches earlier on, Jeffrey Fischler's and Motti Gantz's, where Jeffrey Fischer was talking about how he was fearful or unwelcome of derivatives, a view which I don't agree with, but it's important that people put their point of view on the table.
Yeah.
And Motti Gantz and this whole issue about tendering, which again I don't agree with, but it's just very important that people are prepared to put things out on the table.
So what are your feelings about tenders?
Well, A, we conduct tenders, so I come from a biased point of view. And secondly, I've argued a long time ago that the only way that De Beers should be selling is via tender.
Why?
Because it's efficient.
Right.
And it destroys the old boys club.
Could you speak a little bit about derivatives for us? Why do you see them as so important for the future?
I'm not a derivative expert. I just believe that it's a financial tool that should be available to those that want to use it. It forces transparency on an industry. And as the dynamics within the industry are changing so dramatically, I think it's absolutely essential, in my opinion, that derivatives come about.
What are the fears about it? Is it because of the transparency, the way it'll change the industry?
I think a lot of the fears are emotional rather than rational. I don't think people really understand what derivatives are about for them.
Let's talk a little bit about rough and polished prices. Do you see do you see a real shortage of rough?
The fact of the matter is that there is a shortage coming, and in certain segments there is a shortage now. In January we saw a minimum of a 10% increase in rough prices generally in 1 month. And I don't believe that that rate is sustainable. There has to be a correction. There seems to be an element of speculation creeping in.
And on polished prices, how is it affecting polished?
Polished, again, I'm talking overall. We reckon there was about a 1.3% increase in polished prices in 2007, which compares to 3% in 2006. Going ahead, our view is that the correction is going to be that there's got to be a convergence between rough and polished, where we see polished prices increasing.
What do you see overall? Do you have a guesstimate about global production this year? Rough production?
From the mines, very roughly it's about 14 billion, which translates to about 16 billion into the manufacturers.
16 billion?
16 billion, which translates into about 18 billion of polished being produced, which is consumed in an industry of around about 80 billion.
Any plans for the future?
I would hope there'll be something coming out fairly soon.
Any clues, hints?
No.
No? Okay.